How's it going, guys? It's Owen here, and today we're about some more Trick and Treat. This should be the final episode of this game. As you can see, we finally discovered a new option. I actually stumbled on this accidentally while I was trying to find it. The first thing you have to do is actually pick up the cat, and then once it actually attacks you, you should actually just abandon it there, or just leave it, and at which point then you end up with this episode. With this choice, sorry. That being said, I suppose I should actually just follow the path, otherwise this should just take us down a different, the path we've already done before. That being said, let's go on with it. I should face with courage wherever I should find her. 2:57 AM. I don't know how long I've been running, but it's been some time since I last heard either the voice or meows, so much to my relief. I finally start placing my hands on my knees, feeling like I'm on the edge of fainting. I breathe through my mouth, trying to fill my lungs with as much air as I can. While my legs hurt as if they had been hammered mercilessly. But this pain does not bother me, because I'm finally safe, at least temporarily. I'm still lost in the dark forest, and surrounded by this rotten air, but I don't feel nearly as bad as before. I look down at the ground while trying to catch my breath. Damn, how can I get out of here? I asked, confused and frustrated. I felt really exhausted, anguished, sorry. I closed my eyes and let out a long sigh. I have to calm myself. Easy, you can't get out of this forest. You can get out of this forest. Have a little rest and then continue walking. I give myself a moment. I needed it. I open my eyes, and at that moment, I see there's something below me. I almost step on it. Because of the darkness and my desperation, I had not noticed it before. Confused, I note a small hand that comes out of the ground. It is a human hand, at least in form. With only a glimpse, I could tell that it was a toy made of metal. Without hesitation, I bend down to start to dig it out. Slowly my hands move away from the earth that hid the toy, only to discover that it was the figure of a knight. It's dirty and very worn down, but a very old toy. I raise the toy to my eyes, examining it carefully. Lillian? I read aloud what the toy had written on its back. It must be the name of the person whom it belonged to. I look at it carefully, trying to think who Lillian might be. But naturally, the effort was just a waste of time. In the end, I have no other alternative than to continue walking down in the dark. My break is over. Without delay, I move my feet and start to walk. This time, there is no need to run. I don't know where I might end up, but I know that I don't want to be here. 3:17 AM. What is this place? I ask myself when I arrive at the clearing in the forest. Only a few minutes since I found the toy have passed. There's something strange about this place. But not because it's dark and oppressive at the rest of the forest. It's actually the opposite. I somehow find it nostalgic, for lack of a better word. The atmosphere here is pure and kind, as if it were a sanctuary from the darkness. I shake my head confused, but I don't give it any other thought. It may only be that I'm too far away from the cat, and that's why the curse is weaker here. At least I can see the night sky. The full moon shines elegantly, surrounded by a blanket of darkness and stars. A beautiful image, but there's something strange about it. How weird. Wasn't there a half moon tonight? I said to myself as I look at the moon and try to remember a vague memory in my mind. Anyway, it's not important. The moon would not come to save me. I lowered my sight. It was then that I noticed there was a cabin in the clearing. It was hidden under the shade of trees. That's why I didn't see it before, I think. The cabin looks old and worn down, even depressing. If I'm lucky, there may be someone there. I may not have managed to escape, but could wait for the sun to rise in that cabin. I am sure that when the night ends, so will my concerns. Without wasting any more time, I decided to enter the cabin. I opened the old door slowly, observing that no one was waiting for me on either side. Apparently it is empty. The atmosphere is quiet. It's a sad silence, as if the place had been forgotten by all. As soon as I put my feet into the cabin, curiosity takes control of me. An inexplicable desire to explore the place is born in me. After all, it seemed to be the most interesting thing I could do at the moment. Although I doubt it can be the excitement of running for my life, thank God. Inside, there's not much special. The first thing I notice is that it does not have many of the modern commodities, such as electricity, telephone, or water pipes. Everything is rustic. It seems that the place was even older than it appeared to be, and impressive as it sounds. In the living room, there is a fireplace. With curiosity, I look inside of it, but there was only ash. No one had used it in a long time. At the temple, I see there were three empty plates. It was as if the family that lived there was getting ready to eat, except that there was no food for them. I then decided to enter the rooms. The first one has a double bed. There's not much else there. I saw just a wardrobe and a chest of drawers, made of wood, yet both were empty. If there were ever clothes in them, they must have disappeared with the time. Then I go to the second room. In this, the bed is smaller. I guess only one person used it. The first thing I notice is that there were toys on the floor. Figures of animals made of wood. Also some marbles and a rag doll. Whoever lives here, or better said, lived here, did not seem to have a great interest in order. However, I can't imagine this is very important after all this time. My first impression is that the room belonged to a girl. At first sight, the room appeared to have nothing special. But after checking the place better, I found a notebook. I observed the notebook with curiosity and opened it to the first page. Everything is fuzzy, but from what little I managed to understand, it seemed to be a diary. All the pages are worn down, and the writing is blurred. I couldn't understand almost anything. I go through every page until I find a fragment that was strangely preserved. The day Dad returned home with a toy. It was the knight in silver armor, in the fairy tales. I can't even describe how happy I felt when I saw it. I immediately ran to him to give him a hug. This toy must have been expensive, but he said that the blacksmith owed him a favor. When I finished reading, I realized it was talking about the same toy that I have in my hands. You must be Lillian, I spoke, speaking to the diary without waiting for an answer. Then my curiosity led me to check the other pages, till again I found a liable fragment. It was right at the end of the diary, many pages away from the day in which she got this toy. Mom woke me up suddenly in the middle of the night. She and Dad seemed to be alterated. It's not like when they fight, but without a doubt something is happening to them. Mom told me to pack only what is necessary and prepare to leave. There was no time to even talk about it. Why do we have to leave? It's very late and I'm really sleepy. I want to stay in bed. But apparently I don't have time to write in the diary anyway. After that, the diary ends abruptly, without having even scrawls of it on any of the paper. It was abandoned at this house, without even looking back. So guessing that she was dragged away from the book or something? It sounds rather sad, but it seems like they had an important reason to do so. It was then that I suddenly heard the sound of footsteps inside of the cabin. My heart freezes at that moment. I don't know why, but an incredible fear invades me. The room's door slowly begins to open, only to reveal the person behind it. "Eh?" exclaimed a confused girl dressed in black, who looked more or less my age. She had an extraordinary beauty, with golden hair and blue eyes. She is surprised to see me, but not more than I was. Is it possible that there was another person caught in this cursed forest? "Why are you here?" the girl asked me. Her blue eyes set their gaze on me. At first she does not seem angry, but later her expression becomes more aggressive. "What were you doing?" She narrows her eyes as if trying to look inside of me. "Sorry, I saw this cabin and I felt the urge to explore inside." I responded immediately. I didn't think it would bother anyone. The cabin seemed abandoned long ago. I'm so nervous I start to sweat. After saying that, the room is surrounded by an awkward silence. The girl looks at me in silence for a few seconds before suddenly laughing. "I see. You must be the knight who I was calling for." "I see. You must be the knight who I was calling before," she said with a sweet smile. I blinked surprised. "You were the voice I heard inside my head?" It's hard to believe what I just heard. I remember that the voice was calling me to a place, but that evil cat would not let me pass. The girl laughed softly before nodding a couple of times. "Yes, that was me." While speaking, she looks me in the eyes with tenderness. I feel something warm in my heart, just from seeing that look of hers. I actually wanted you to come to this place. But I don't know why you started to run in the opposite direction. The girl looks a little sad after saying that. However, she quickly recovers her smile. "That's why I went out looking for you. I would have never imagined that you would end up here." "Me either. I was just walking around without knowing where I was going looking for the way out of this forest." I replied sincerely. I guess I'm lucky, but there was something in their voice that I don't like. Anyway, if it comes from a girl so sweet, I should be good. At that moment, I noticed that the girl never stopped staring at me. Her eyes I don't know what that says. Me with so much adoration that I feel both flattered and uncomfortable. I take a step backwards because of my anxiety, but she instantly takes a step forward. "Brave knight, there's something I need to ask of you," the girl unexpectedly said. I don't know if that is the appropriate way of addressing me, but I cannot deny that I like it. "What is it?" I glooped shortly after asking. My heart beats faster. Then the girl goes one step closer, and then another. She is now so close that I can smell her faint scent. It seems that she did not know the concept of personal space. It was then that I suddenly heard something hit the ground. The surprise makes us both silent. After that moment, I realized something that should be in my hand no longer was there. Unwittingly, I dropped the knight toy. My anxiety made me clumsy. "That," said the girl after a short silence. The look in her eyes had changed completely. She is astonished. Suddenly something had stolen her breath. The blue eyes no longer concentrate on me, but look down at something that is on the floor. "Where did you find that?" the girl asked, astonished. I do not know how to react. I just silently bent down to pick up the toy. Then I offered to her kindly. After hesitating for a moment, she almost snatches it from my hands. It seemed to be something very precious to her. "I found it buried in the forest," I replied kindly, as I see how she embraced it. With such tenderness that makes me smile. "I guess that you must be Lillian." She nods. "Yes, my name is Lillian." She then returns her gaze towards my face. Her eyes reflect the shy and pure kindness. Thank you, she said timidly. My name is Axel, and you don't have to thank me. Even if I couldn't escape, it seems that I wouldn't have some company. If all goes well, we only have to wait until the sunrise. I gave one more look at Lillian. The first thing that is noticeable is her great beauty. But after seeing more carefully, I noticed there was something more. Its presence a little strange. She blinks after realizing I look at her. Immediately, I avert my sight narrowly, only to hear her laugh again. You're the girl living in this house, is that right? I asked, steeling myself for what she was going to answer. How is it that you're still in this place? I gulp. Perhaps, are you some kind of ghost or something like that? Lillian looks at me with eyes with tenderness. Do I look anything like a scary ghost? She said playfully. I immediately reply saying no, with a shake of my head. You're right. I lived in this cabin for a long time, with my family, but that is now a thing of the past. Could you tell me about it? I asked, guided by my curiosity, without thinking that it might be something personal. Lillian closed her eyes and thought about it for a few moments. I could, but only if you promised to help me before listening to it. She said, looking at me later with puppy eyes, quietly begging for my approval. I cannot stop thinking that this girl is adorable. But something does not convince me. Promise to help you? I said without much energy. Before promising that, I need to know what kind of help you want from me. My words are firm. I don't want her to ask later for my soul or drink my blood. Lily makes a childish and annoyed face for a couple of seconds. I just want a bit of your energy, Knight. If you give it to me, then I'll respond to all your questions. After saying that, she gives a tender look towards me. I do not understand what she means by energy. It's not like I am a battery. But I do have many questions that I would like to ask. I doubt for a moment before sighing with resignation. It seems there's no other way. Okay, but how will I do that? I asked, looking at her confused. Lillian smiles unexpectedly, full of joy. It is very easy. You need to kiss me, Knight. She responds as if it wasn't anything special. Did I hear her well? Kiss her? I lost my breath just from thinking about it. It seems that coming to this forest was a good idea after all. I suddenly feel Lillian caressing my cheek with one hand. I turn to her. I turn to see her face, only to discover that she is very close to me. Instantly I blush, but shortly after, I notice something strange. Her body feels cold. I don't know how to explain it, but her presence is strangely faint. The texture of her skin is nice, but at the same time weak. Lillian smiles while she looks at me in the eyes with her mischievous face. I still must reward you for bringing my toy back, she said gently while approaching her lips to mine, slowly savoring every moment. I couldn't do anything to stop her. Soon, I feel her lips against mine. At that moment, I felt as if I had been possessed. My desires take control of my body, forcing me to kiss her passionately. As if we were lovers, seeing each other after a very long time. I closed my eyes. I didn't need to see. I just feel the love from her lips. Oh, that made me jump actually. However, the sweetness soon dies, being replaced with a stabbing pain. It was as if someone had stabbed needles of ice along my back. Without thinking, I break the kiss and move away from her. What did you do? I asked, giving an astonished look at Lillian. What was happening to me? I feel cold, as if she had stolen half my heat from my body. I also feel heavy. You don't need to fear. I just took a portion of your energy, as we agreed, answered Lillian, looking at me with puppy eyes that begged me not to get angry with her. Don't worry, you'll feel better soon, she added shortly after. I become silent, but from seeing her. I could not be angry with someone like her. Then I sigh, leaving my anger and concerns with my breath. Soon after, I noticed that Lillian does nothing more than look at me tenderly, waiting for me to say something. It was then that I realized something. Suddenly the presence of Lillian becomes heavier. Hey? I exclaim with curiosity. Before, she felt almost transparent, but now I see with solid colours. As if before, she was just a reflection of how she was real. Did you notice my night? She asked, full of joy. Thanks to you, I can now materialise myself completely. Before my presence was partial, dim, but now I have more power thanks to you. Lillian explained, giving me a smile. Now I understand why she wanted my help. But after hearing that, one thing is clear to me. She is not human. With that, do you have anything you wanted? I asked, a little disgusted. I can't say that I'm happy after the kiss. I still have some difficulty standing. Lillian responds with a nod. Yes, I will now respond to your questions, kind knight. Her words are honest, but like the sweet look in her eyes. Well, it seems that I can trust her. After looking at her for a moment, my lips finally move. What are you exactly, Lillian? Was my first question. No doubt it must be strange. It must sound strange, but there was something there that does not make any sense. Are you really not a ghost? Or perhaps you're a witch? Lillian stares carefully at me before laughing softly, closing her eyes at a moment. Then she looks directly into my eyes. You got one of them right, my knight. She pauses. I really am a spirit, but before I was a witch who lived in this place. A spirit? I asked, confused. How is that any different from a ghost? To me, it's still not the same thing. But then I see Lillian shaking her head in denial. She then looks me straight in the eyes. A ghost is the soul of someone who died and which? What? A ghost is the soul of someone who died, and which, by some force, it remains in this world. A spirit, on the other hand, is a different entity. They have much more power, presence. They have a much more powerful presence, and do not necessarily come from a dead person. Could you explain it simpler? I asked, completely lost. I guess you knew how to differentiate them. I know how to say that, sorry. All of this was completely new to me. Lillian then laughed sweetly, as if my confusion was adorable. A ghost is someone who died, but their soul stayed on this earth. A spirit is a supernatural entity that does not need to come from a living being. An example would be fairies or spirits of the forest. That was much clearer. I suddenly take a moment to connect the dots. I explained, thoughtful, before thinking back at her beautiful face. Her blue eyes are partially... Wait, what? Her blue eyes patiently wait for me to say something. So you mean that you were a witch before somehow ended up becoming a spirit of this forest? I asked quizzically. After hearing me, Lillian nods and gives me a smile. That's right. I was a young witch who lived in this cabin with my parents. But unfortunately... Lillian stopped suddenly. For that moment, the expression of her face seems to be full of hatred. One instant later, she is back to normal. It must have been an error of mine. But something happened after death. I ended up becoming a spirit. added Lillian soon after, giving more light to the situation. When she said the last word, she gave me a sweet smile, looking at me with pure innocence. I understand. I murmured, however, that there was still something important I wanted to know. My eyes then set on Lillian. Why were you calling for me before? I asked with a sharp look in my eyes, as if I tried to see inside of her soul. She gazes at me with tenderness. Because I needed your help, kind knight. But also to protect you. Hearing her say that surprises me. But she doesn't seem to be lying. I think you've seen it, the evil cat that lives in this forest. She is an evil spirit. The image of the cat flashes in my mind at that moment. She is right. It's because of that cat I ended up in this place. Surely the cat is one who created this rotten and sinister atmosphere. Why could I not say that word? Before I was happy as the spirit of this forest. The joy that surrounded me gave me the energy that fed me. But since the cat appeared, nobody else came. That's why I couldn't keep my material form and had to steal your energy. I see. It's all the fault of the cat. I said with a better idea of the situation. Finally, there's only one last thing I'm concerned about. Lillian, do you know something about the disappearances of 5 men which took place in this forest? Lillian seems surprised by my question, but she quickly regains her composure. With a fervent look in her eyes, she nods twice. Yes, they are dead. The cat stole their vital energy, killing them. That's how she acquires more power. Wait, isn't that the same thing you did with me? I ask, confused. Lillian immediately shakes her head while showing me the palms. In a shy gesture, that I said I was wrong. It's very different. She didn't stop and ended up taking life from them. What? It's very different. She didn't stop and ended up taking all life from them. I wouldn't kill such a kind knight like you, who voluntarily came to me to give me something so precious. Explained Lillian. Basically, he had the same power, but different intentions. I understand. I sat thinking about it for a moment, with my sight down. I then returned my eyes to Lillian. As though I have one doubt left. How many questions do we have? Why have all the disappearances occurred on Halloween? Because it is the only night in which we can materialize, answered Lillian quickly, speaking with perfect calmness, as if it was something ordinary. Fortunately, my look of confusion seems enough to tell her that I didn't understand, well, what she meant. During the night of Halloween, magic becomes more powerful. All the other days, I am only an invisible being that cannot be more than observed this forest. But on the night of Halloween, I am able to show my presence and I appear. You're only trying to say that during the other days, you don't have any powers? I asked curiously. That would explain well what was happening. I guess it would be the same case for the cat, only in the night, this night she can be dangerous. Lillian nods. Yes, that's right, brave knight. The look in her eyes is sincere. I see. Thank you very much. That was everything I wanted to know. I never thought I would say something like this on this night, for her answers have been of great help. Finally, I felt more confident and not as lost as before. Now the only thing left was to wait for the sunrise in this cabin. Fortunately, the atmosphere here seems more friendly and calm. Once the sun rises, I could escape without problems. I would have survived the wickedness of that cat. I was lost in my thoughts, and then suddenly I noticed the look Lillian had upon me. Her eyes tell me she wants to ask me something else. Is something wrong, Lillian? I asked, not knowing what to expect. Lillian instantly responds with a nod. Kind knight, how do you know the truth there is a special mission? What? Kind knight, now that you know the truth, there is a special mission in which I need your help. I want you to help me defeat the cat and break this curse. Her words leave me as a loss for breath. What? Her words leave at a loss for breath. Yes, I'm not reading that wrong. Was that like a little typo there, or was it just me literally reading it wrong? Oh well. Defeat her? What could I do against that cursed cat? I'm just a normal person. Without a doubt, I'd like to put an end to this curse, but I can't take impossible tasks. After hearing me, Lillian's eyes light up with hope. You don't have to fear, Knight. You're much stronger than you look. You have a large amount of magical energy sleeping within you. Lillian pauses. You will also have my support. Lillian then gets closer to me. Having her so close makes me nervous. I hope she doesn't want more energy, although I wouldn't complain if she wants another kiss. Do you really need my help, Lillian? You're sounding too dangerous. I would prefer not to be in the fight. She nods before looking at me with peeling eyes, slightly begging of me for help. Yes, it's necessary. The cat and I have very evenly matched powers. For your presence tonight, that could give me the victory. There's nothing but tenderness in her blue eyes. It's hard to say no to a look like that. My heart beats fast with anxiety. Honestly, I don't want to meddle between them. But it's what she wants. But what she says is true, that I can't make a difference, then put an end to this curse once. What? But if what she says is true, that I can make a difference and put an end to this curse once and for all, then I have to do it. Okay, I will help you kill the cat and end the curse, I said, full of determination. It's hard to believe that the words came from my mouth, but there are times that we have to be strong. I cannot forget that she has killed innocents before. Lillian seems surprised to hear me say that. No, she suddenly said. Don't kill her. After saying that, she stays silent. She seems scared. I looked at her without understanding what is wrong. If you kill her, she will later be reincarnated as a more evil being, a more powerful being. This is the first time that I've heard Lillian this worried. No doubt it's something serious. Knight, please, trust me. The best thing we can do is to capture her. That's precisely the mission I had for you. Capture her? I repeat, confused, staring into her eyes. Lillian nods. Yes, if you see that she tries to take her own life, you must stop her. Just hold her for a few seconds. That'll be enough for me to imprison her. Lillian explains, looking at me again with puppy eyes. And how am I supposed to do that? I ask, not fully convinced of this plan. My reflexes are better than the cat for sure. I use my magic to strengthen your body. As soon as the combat starts, she will place all attention on me. So when you see her, that she is about to take her life, you must move as fast as you can and hold her, brave knight. Lillian said, placing her trust in me. Okay, I understand. I answered, full of determination. This was our plan of counterattack. With my help, this long curse should finally end. Very well, you can count on me, Lillian. After hearing me, Lillian is filled with joy. She closes her eyes for a moment. When she opens them, she gives me a look filled with love, along with a radiant smile. For a second, I felt as if we had been in love for years, something beautiful but false. More than saying that I would help her, it seemed like More than saying that I would help her, it seemed like I was making a bigger commitment, and therefore a more cherished one. As if I had promised that I would always be her ally. In any case, I was happy to see her so happy. She must have been alone for a very long time. However, suddenly her expression changes. From one second to the next, Lillian gives an expression of anguish. Something was bothering her. The cat approaches. Soon she will be here. Hearing her say that made my heart skip a beat. Anxiety grows in me. Apparently Lillian noted it because it unexpectedly gave what? Apparently Lillian noticed it because she unexpectedly gave me a sweet smile. Fear not, gentle knight, she said tenderly before making a more serious face. Quickly give me a kiss so I can strengthen your body. I'm not even able to finish my sentence before Lillian impatiently planted a new kiss on my lips. Soft, pleasant, delicious. Kissing her is a wonderful feeling that makes my heart beat faster. This time, I do not feel weaker, or the opposite. Her kiss filled me with energy and power. Lillian's kiss would be the best way to wake up every day. Better than coffee or a sudden cold shower, I thought, joking with myself. However, before we finished our kiss, suddenly something attacks us with such a power that it destroys part of the cabin, opening a large hole that connects to the outside. I can't even begin to imagine what did that. It was like seeing a wrecking ball doing its job. The blow was significantly strong enough to push me away from Lillian. She seems as equally surprised as me. I immediately get up and look for the culprit. You really are an idiot. What are you doing? Said a girl with the white hair and red eyes that I never had seen before. But somehow she appeared to know me. The way she looks at me makes me think that. How impatient you are, Ashley. Don't you see I was having an intimate moment with my knight? Responded Lillian with a mischievous smile on her face. Or is it that you are jealous because men prefer me? No. No wonder, you're just an annoying brat. The girl with red eyes, Ashley, sets her eyes on Lillian, seeing her as an enemy. I won't let you leave this place. I'll never let you. There was anger in her words, but there was also something strange. She doesn't sound evil, though she rather seemed to be on the defensive. It's strange, but that is my impression. Lillian chuckles after hearing her, hiding her lips behind her hand with elegance. You're wrong. This will be the night of your defeat. Ashley makes snorts in anguish. I didn't want to do this, but I think I have no choice. Unexpectedly, just as she finished speaking, she jumps at me with extraordinary speed. I am more than impressed, however. I managed to dodge her somehow, jumping towards Lillian. When my feet touch the ground, I'm right next to her. Lillian smiles, and then seems a strong current of air pushes Ashley away from us. Magic, without a doubt. You giant idiot! Ashley shouted, falling with a perfect balance, as one might expect of a cat. There was no further explanation, it had to be her. Otherwise, the attack and the fact that they knew each other wouldn't make sense. Do you know what you're doing? You are endangering everyone. You're wasting your time, Lillian said without even giving me time to think about it. He has already chosen to be my ally. Axel is my knight. Together we will defeat you, Ashley. Without a doubt, that was what I had promised. But Lillian was acting different than before. She was arrogant and seems to enjoy it. The girl then hisses with anger, imitating an angry cat. Why couldn't I say that word? She even shows me her teeth. Her nails grew at that time. You really are an idiot, she said, furious, with red eyes, gazing at me. I'm the good one. That princess behind you is the one who killed them all. Eh? I exclaimed, confused, before seeing how Ashley jumps to dodge a ball of energy, translucent as if it made of hot air, but with a power so great that it opens a hole in the ground. She was where she was standing. It was Lillian who shot from the tip of her fingers. I could feel a huge and unknown energy concentrate on her hand. However, what most surprises me is the expression on her face. A malicious smile draws on her lips. Was she having fun? Why would fighting to break the curse be fun? I look at the face of Ashley to compare it. It seemed the opposite. Ashley appeared to be in agony, worried about what would happen while giving her all. Why do you believe all of her words? Ashley shouted before dodging another ball of energy. The blast echoes in my ears. I just wanted to scare them away. She is the one who stole the energy of those men to consummate her revenge. Once again, I am a loss for breath. Now, the seed of doubt is planted in my mind. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm even more confused than before. Something is wrong with these two. Both Ashley and Lillian do not appear to be what they say. At least I cannot believe in them. Shut up. Lillian yelled, furious at the same time, as she fires a large bolt of lightning at her. The attack is so fast and powerful that she could not avoid it. Then Lillian turns to me. My knight, do not fall for her lies. She is just trying to confuse you. Lillian looks at me in the eyes with incredible tenderness. The change of her emotions is so dramatic that I don't know how to feel on the matter. You believe me, don't you? She ended with a kind and innocent smile. However, before being able to say anything, we are interrupted. A great wave of translucent energy hits Lillian, knocking down part of the cabin. The blast was tremendous, so much as I was stunned speechless. Again, it was like seeing a wrecking ball doing its job, an unstoppable force. Curse you, I'll make you pay. Lillian cried, furious, clearing up the blood on her lips. Despite the monstrous hit, she was almost completely clean. You deserve to fly in the middle of the match. Ashley scolded her, looking furious too. After saying that, Ashley and Lillian resumed a fierce and fantastical fight, using powers that I could not even begin to understand, much less describe. Either way, one thing is certain, I don't want to be in this wrecked cabin. However, as soon as I move, I unexpectedly step on something. Eh? Confused, I look down only to find the toy knight. It must have fell from Lillian's hands after the attack. When my eyes set on it, everything became silent. I watched fascinated, as if the most interesting thing that existed. Ignoring the incredible combat that takes place right in front of my eyes. This toy calls me. Something in it is calling me. Without even thinking, I pick it up from the ground. It is at that moment I am transported to another place. No, that's an error. I'm still in the same cabin as before. However, what has changed is the time. The cabin now looks clean and full of life, almost as if it were new. I find myself extending both hands, palms up, awaiting to see something. My eyes look up, beholding the loving smile of an older man, with a beard but almost no hair. Without hesitation, he puts something in my hands. It's cold and hard. It has a similar shape. Here is the toy knight. Having it in my hands fills me with great joy. It was something that I had desired so much but never had hoped to have. It was too expensive, too unnecessary, but I still dreamed to see a knight in shining armor. Since long ago, it had been one of my whims. To see this futile dream fulfilled fills me with unexplainable happiness. Someone heard it. This unnecessary dream that even the owner had hopelessly abandoned. There was someone who picked it up and gave it life. What I call something like that but love. Being able to hold it in my hands meant more to me than any other gift. Even if they had offered me a bag of gold in its place, it would not be the same. Without hesitation, the first thing I did was engrave my name on it, Lillian. This belongs to me. It is mine and mine alone. So we've got an understanding of her hidden feelings that she actually won't share with us at the minute. Oh, what's going on here? The next second, I'm in the forest. My legs hurt and I'm out of breath. I'm terribly scared. I just want to rest a little, but suddenly my father takes my hand. He is angry, or rather desperate. He forces me to continue running. Our escape was cut short, however. Soon the toy would fall onto the ground, stained with blood. It was a surprise attack. Only I would survive. Miraculously survived those wounds that would have thought been fatal. It was a meaningless miracle. The next day, it wouldn't be more than ash. Hello. When I return to the real world, it seems there's something on my face. With a frozen expression, I touch to discover that they were tears. I look at my hand for a few seconds, completely lost in that image. I hear nothing. I see nothing. I just think. There's something twisted in all of this. The Lillian is the same Lillian I saw, but not completely. Definitely something is missing from her. She is just a piece. Suddenly I shake my head. There's something I need to see. Ashley and Lillian continue fighting, using all kinds of extraordinary powers. Ashley shoots lightning bolts at Lillian, but she reflects them with an almost invisible shield. Lillian smiles just at the same time she covers her body with a thick darkness, which later takes the form of a huge snake. The Serpent of Darkness attacks. Ashley manages to dodge. It thanks her to be great reflexes. Why are you doing this? Ashley asked angrily, at the same time she fires a red lightning bolt. But it did not seem to be made of energy. Made of electricity, but a different energy. The lightning hits the snake, dispersing some sort of thick darkness. A long time has passed. The people who hurt you are glad already gone. There isn't even a memory of the crime committed here anymore. The only thing here is a village of innocent people. Ashley said just before Lillian attacked her again. This time, she is not fast enough. The Seraphim tears her side, causing a serious wound. However, in front of my eyes, I see it reduce to nothing in just a moment. Is it that you have forgotten the feeling of tears falling down your cheeks, and blood escaping from your body until you lose all of your heat? Lillian responded by hesitation. Her answers turned me into stone. No matter how much I want to forget it, no matter how much time passes, for me it remains as vivid as if it just happened. I cannot live otherwise. If it is not like this every day, it eats me from the inside. Apparently Lillian had discarded the good girl act, who had forgotten about me. Not wasting any time, Ashley attacks, firing a red lightning bolt, even bigger than the previous. She was given everything she had in that fight. Lillian responds, throwing all the darkness that covers her to Ashley, revealing her human body. Darkness and light collide, causing an explosion. For a moment, everything was covered by white light, accompanied by a deafening noise. When my vision returns, I see that both Ashley and Lillian are seriously injured. They gasp for air while staring into the eyes of each other. I have no doubts Ashley was telling the truth. It was not the cat who killed those men, but Lillian because of her desire for revenge. Or rather, her inability to forget the pain of what they did to her. Lillian is an aggressor, but she is also the victim. She is also suffering. I press the toy in my hands, with all my strength in anxiety. I don't know what to do, but no, I don't want to stay here idly. I must intervene. It was then that unexpectedly, in front of my eyes, Something happened that leaves me speechless. This is enough. I won't let you disturb me anymore. This will be the night I defeat you. Lillian said at the same time. She gathers an incredible magic. Dozens of snakes of darkness revolve around her, floating in the air. She was preparing to cast an enormous spell. Try if you can, Princess. I won't let you hurt anybody again, replied Ashley, doing the same thing. Only that in her case, the energy takes the form of a red and white light. An immense power surrounds each other, revealing the nature of their interior. It was easy to know what they were planning. The intensity of the energy converting them at that time leaves me speechless. It's something I've never seen before. Immeasurably indescribable, and above all else fascinating. Wait! I shout, desperately trying to stop them, but they can't hear me. In the world they are now, the two of them exist. Before I knew it, my legs begin to move with extraordinary speed, thanks to the spell of Lillian. Ah! The two activate their powers, their spells at the same time. They yell, with all of their might and heart. A stream of red and white light advances unstoppable against each other. What? A stream of red and white light advances unstoppable against another of the darkness, moving in the opposite direction, as if there were two trains about to collide. Stop! I yell from the bottom of my soul, possessed by the desire to stop them before they hurt themselves anymore. I don't know why, but something inside me pushed me to do so. The feeling I had was like seeing two great friends fighting to death. In any case, I don't have time to question what I do. It was already done. Before I knew it, I was already between the two. I open my eyes wide, with disbelief when I realize it. My eyes reflect the intense light that becomes brighter by the instant, until it hits me, making a monstrous roar. An explosion like nothing else I had ever seen before, with me in the center of it. At that moment, everything turned white. So I'm guessing we just died. All sounds, all images, all the smells and sensations are gone. I was left alone, abandoned in the empty white. However, how can I describe what it feels like? What it feels like to leave this world? It was as if I had been pushed into the sea and sank quickly, leaving behind the world from where I came. Even if I stretch my hand, I cannot reach it. I just continue to sink until the image of the surface disappears. The only difference is that there is no darkness. Instead, it is just white and eternal white. I cannot speak. Moving is impossible, considering that I even have a body. The only thing I do is sink deeper with every passing second. While I do it, I can't help but feel sad, or rather nostalgic. I just entered this place, and already I feel as if I had spent years here. Suddenly the white becomes something different. The eternal white changes to green. It turns into a forest. There's a cabin in the forest. In the cabin, there are 3 people. My mum, my dad, and I. That is a mistake. I am not me. I is Lillian. Lillian and Ashley. The real one, and not those two who were fighting before. Now I understand it. Now I understand. I am not dead. The power did not exterminate me, but showed me a window to their mind, to their inside. Lillian and Ashley are 2 names, but both belong to the same person. Because their parents could not decide, they gave her a middle name. Now I understand it. You idiot! Do not die! Suddenly I hear the voice of Ashley calling me. There is concern mixed with anger in her voice. Hearing it fills me with delight. My knight, resist! Then I hear the voice of Lillian. I can hear her just as concerned as Ashley. Despite being evil, she felt something for me. I guess it's impossible to have 100% evil being, evil spirit. I'm I'm alive. I murmured with difficulty. I felt 10 times worse than waking up on a Monday at 6 AM in the morning to go to school, and that is saying a lot. Slowly I regained my senses and started to perceive the world again. Shapes and sound become clearer. As soon as I say that, both girls sigh with relief. How can you be so stupid? Nestle roared furiously. Although I don't blame her in the least. On the contrary, I believe she is right. Don't do something so dangerous. Don't do something so dangerous. If possible, I would have preferred not to kill you. After saying that, she closes her eyes and crosses her arms, making an arrogant gesture. My knight. Then whispered Lillian, looking at me with puppy eyes. I'm lucky my sacrifice was able to stop them, at least for now. Here, I think this belongs to you. I said at the same time I placed a toy in the hands of Lillian. She looks at me more than surprised. She simply cannot believe it. I had no words. I don't know how to say it, but I feel that this toy is what saved my life. It was no coincidence that I found it. It must have been waiting for someone who could finally break the curse without killing her. That's all you have there. Ashley murmured as surprised as Lillian. Her cheeks were slightly red, making her look adorable. It seems that she can even be cute when she wants to be. That also belongs to you, am I right? And I said shortly before standing. I already felt a little better, still tired, but not as bad as before. Without thinking, I cleared the dirt off my clothes with my hands. Suddenly everything had become too quiet. Confused, I look at Ashley and Lillian. They are both cold, and more still than the statue. How could you know? The two cried in unison, destroying the short calm that was surrounding us. It was almost louder than the explosion of before. I almost fall to the ground from the impression. When they stare at me, narrowing their eyes, as if trying to see inside of me. There was something slightly funny about seeing them acting like this. I inhaled to fill my lungs with air, and my heart with courage. That toy told me. I don't know how it happened, how it could happen, but I'm sure that was it. Since I found it, I felt mysterious force guiding me, and during the fight, it showed me scenes from your past. After seeing that, I looked at their faces, both with the same thoughtful expression. He apparently had some difficulty believing it, but at the same time, they couldn't discard the possibility so easily. Could it be that all these years it was collecting magical energy? Ashley asked herself with her side down one hand under the chain while thinking deeply. There's one explanation. It was filled with the magical energy and filled its memories. Responded Lillian, thinking just as deep on the subject. After that, they both nodded at the same time. It was funny and adorable. However, I quickly erased the smile from my face. It wasn't going to stay like this. This is nothing more than a small truce. Next year it would be the same. I have to put an end to this curse. You two are the same person, am I right? So why did you have to fight? I asked, knowing that they would not take it well, but I couldn't avoid doing so. Instantly, both crossed their arms, making an angry face. It's her fault. This princess can't forget what happened and wants to take revenge on the people. Even though hundreds of years later, years have passed. Ashley angrily responds. She had a good point, but now that I've seen the past of the two, I think I can understand why that is. Don't lie, it's the fault of that cat. She always wants to act like a saint, but she doesn't even understand how horrible I feel inside. Every day, every night, I can't simply stay here doing nothing, Lillian added. Fortunately, she didn't have any intentions to fight for now. At that moment, I was going to be buried alive at the stake. A white cat was watching nearby. Using the last of my power, I managed to transfer my soul to her. I thought that would be the end. But soon the desire for revenge grew in me. So much that it took a life of its own. My soul is fragmented, Ashley explained with complete seriousness. Lillian does not protest. That was the truth, pure truth. I take a deep breath in preparation for what I had to do. Idiots! I unexpectedly said, seeing the angry faces from the two as I respond. The one saying idiot is the idiot. Ashley instantly replied, however soon her anger disappears. She blushes embarrassed when I set my sight on her red eyes. Wait a couple of seconds before speaking. You are misinterpreting what you feel. You loved your family, isn't that right? It's because you loved them that it hurts to have them lost. I'm not saying that it's okay to seek revenge, but that is cruel. But do not bury and ignore your pain. Don't call it evil, it's only human. It seems that my words had some effect. Ashley, after a few seconds, lowered her sight, looking troubled. After saying that, I turned to Lillian. She blinks. Her blue eyes are anxious, as if they were impatient to know what I had to say. It's the same for you. You're not a demon. There's part of you that could be a good girl. Lillian, there's some good in you. I don't think that everything you told me was a lie. Or that the joy in which I saw you hugging that toy was all an act. I paused a while. I remember those moments. I know it hurts, but the one who suffers the most from revenge is yourself. I added. There's no more to say. Lillian, like Ashley, lowers her head, questioning herself, looking sad and pensive. I can't help but think that having that toy in her hands helps soothe her pain. Yes, you're right. The truth is that I hate them. I hate those damn idiots for what they did to me. It hurt a lot. We were innocent. Ashley cried furiously, revealing her hidden feelings. Yes, but at the same time, we don't want to hurt anybody. No matter how many I kill, I will never be able to turn back to revive the dead. Lillian confessed with sadness in her voice. After saying that, they look at each other's eyes for a couple of seconds before giving each other a gentle smile. It was like seeing a couple of sisters forgiving themselves after years of entity. I was pleased gratefully. I could not ask for a better end. I just stare at them while they look at each other, feeling a great satisfaction. I met them just this evening, but somehow I bonded with them. Ashley extends her hand with Lillian, with a perfect elegance in the gesture, as if inviting her to have a dance. Lillian nods and accepts her hand. It was then that I suddenly see how they will slowly begin to disappear. Both are dispersed in the form of parcels of light, as if small fireflies were escaping from their bodies, with a beautiful but depressing green colour. Suddenly the two turned to gaze at me, giving me their last smile. It was a pleasure to meet you, Stu. No, I mean I can't call you stupid anymore. It is a pity, but it was a pleasure to meet you human. Ashley said with the same arrogance as always, but this time she seemed to have more respect. I am more than proud to hear it. Maybe if you hadn't attacked me in the beginning, we could have spoken some more. Yes, it is a bad habit I have. She smiles a little ashamed, knowing that my words are the truth. Thanks for helping us find the peace that we needed. Goodbye, Noble Knight. I confess, I enjoyed kissing you. You were right when you were right when you said that not everything was a lie. I enjoyed the time we spent together, even if short. I am glad I didn't kill you. Lillian said, looking at me with a tenderness that breaks my heart, despite what she says. Is there no way you could stay? I asked, being stubborn, but I didn't want the things to end like this. We could start again, a new life, and become good friends. I would like to, but my existence, the purpose of my life has already been fulfilled. Thank you for freeing me of these painful feelings I was carrying. Thank you for showing me that not everyone is evil, and there are still good people like you. Thank you for trusting me, in despite my corrupted soul. Then, this is goodbye. Yes. It was fun to meet you, said the two unexpectedly in unison. Those were their last words, despite disappearing while holding hands. Without thinking, I ran towards them. Even if I couldn't do anything, I wanted to touch them one last time. But the only thing my hands were able to reach are the parcels of light that slip out between my fingers as if it was water. Then I see the light rise, higher and higher, until it disappears into the night sky. I did it. I'm a hero, but I'm the one who finally broke the curse. Now no one else would be trapped by it. It ended too soon. I would like to see you again someday. I murmured to the night sky, watching it with longing for a couple of minutes, as if waiting for something to occur. But naturally, there was no response. Now, the only thing that stays with me is a fulfilled desire. My desire to have a second chance with them. At least I know that at the end of their lives, they could find some happiness. Now, how can I get out of this forest? I know that no one would believe my story if I tell it, but at least I have achieved what our main goal was, an unforgettable night. Is that all? Yeah, that's it, guys. If I'm understanding now, that should be the last ending. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope this episode and this Let's Play. If you've got any more games like this you want me to play, do let me know in the comments below. And if I can get my hands on it and play it, I definitely will do so. Anything to keep you guys happy, after all. I'm gonna skip past these cutscenes because I think we have seen them in the last episode. So if there's anything else that we have to do, I'll see you then. Oh, what's going on here? Axel! Axel! Suddenly I feel someone shaking my shoulder, impatiently, while he calls my name. Immediately I open my eyes, discovering that it's Stephen. What are you doing, sleeping? Class is about to start, he said, looking at me as if I was doing something weird. I don't answer him. A look at my surroundings makes me sure where I was. Yes, it is true. I'm at school, waiting for another boring day of classes to start. My biggest struggle for this day was not to fall asleep. Sorry, just that I had a late night last night. I couldn't sleep very well. I had a strange dream. A strange dream? Murmured Alfred, showing some interest. Yes, that's what it was, just a strange dream. I was about to explain it, but Stephen interrupted me. It's not important, we're awake now. What is important, however, is that what will happen today. And what is it you consider so important? Well, according to my investigation, there's going to be a new female transfer student today. As usual, he's more interested in girls than in my fantastic dreams. Now that I think about it, I don't remember hearing before a student would be transferred. But with curiosity, I hear what my classmates around me are saying, what I'm talking about. They're all talking about the same thing. Well, I guess I wasn't just paying attention. Then they said the girl is gorgeous. No, even the word gorgeous not enough to describe her. Stephen added, it was too easy to tell. He was more than eager to meet her. You need to learn how to be more subtle. I need to learn how to read more, that's my issue. Attention, the teacher is coming. Alfred said, warning that it was time to return to our seats. Shortly after, we will see the teacher enter, a man of about 40 years, bald, with glasses, carrying a couple of thick books. After a cordial greeting, the teacher prepares to introduce the new student. Well, as everyone knows today, we have a new student who join our class. Remember, be nice to her. After saying that, we see the door open. I feel that everyone in the room is impatient to see. The atmosphere of the place is loaded with cravings. However, when at last I see your face, I get the biggest surprise of my life. Greetings, my name is Lillian Ashley Gwendian. His friends grow in Dian. Or at least this game's actually helping me out here. She said, ending with a friendly smile. She is unquestionably a girl of great beauty. I must be the only one who was surprised by a new. I must be the only one here who was surprised by something else. Lillian? Ashley? I shout without thinking. I don't believe it. Everyone then gives me a strange look at that moment, as if I had something in my face. But I don't care. The surprise was too big to hide it. Hello, Axel. We get to see each other again. She said, giving me a sweet smile. At the same time, she waves her hand, blushing slightly embarrassed. I cannot answer. I simply have no voice. My mind is blank. She is Lillian and Ashley, the real girl. She is not Lillian. She is not Ashley. She is both, Lillian and Ashley. She looked at me just like in the memories I had of her. That's her real appearance, before her soul was fragmented. I thought I would never see her again. It was then that without thinking, I checked the date on my phone. What I find caused me a loss for breath. October 31st. It's simply not possible. Time moved back. I had the feeling that it was something more than a dream. For a second, I doubted, but now I'm sure. That night was real, as if this day. This year, I'll be blessed with living Halloween twice. Lillian then blushed, knowing that she was the centre of the attention of everyone there. Well, I'm very shy to talk about me. But there's one thing I would like to say before sitting in my seat to begin the class. Something in honor of the special day. The word then became silent, waiting for what that beautiful girl had to say. Lillian takes a moment to gather courage, before looking at us by tilting her head gently and giving us her best smile. Radiant smile, full of happiness. Trick and treat. No, that's sweet. It's definitely a beautiful and best ending we've had so far. Finn. That's sweet. I don't know how sweet was. Alright, with that being said, that should be the last ending. It is. We actually have the final ending, which should be the true ending, I actually believe. That being said though, guys, I'm going to be ending this episode here for the final time as well. If you'd like to see more of this game, as I said, do let me know in the comments below. That being said, I'll see you in whatever we do around here next. Goodbye, take care, and thank you all so much for watching.